In this lecture, I want to show you that how we can do manual code reviews. So I have created a repository. I will link this repository to this lecture. In this repository, I have a branch called main. Under this, if we go to code review example, there is a file called program.cs and it only has a hello world in it. The code is in C#, and the reason I have chosen C# is that it's very easily readable. Most developers can read and understand it. We are not going to run this code, so it doesn't really matter what language we use. Also, there is a branch called bad code. If I change my branch to bad code, you will see that the same file has code in it, and this code has been written very badly on purpose. When you have a repository and you want to allow other developers to make changes on it, there are two ways of doing it. One is that you create a branch and you allow developers to work on that branch, or you can fork your repository. The difference between branch and fork is that the branch lives on the main repository. For example, the branch bad code lives on code review repository. But when a developer forks the repository like this by clicking on fork, the repository will be fully cloned and will be given to that developer. Basically, they will own that copy of the repository. I prefer forking over branch because then that makes the branch management easier. However, different developers have different preferences. It depends what you prefer and what your requirements are. Whether you use a fork or a branch to merge your code to the main branch or main repository, you will create a pull request. Pull request is a concept that exists in GitHub and Bitbucket. When you have changes in some branches other than the main branch, GitHub normally shows you this yellow box and you can click on it to create a pull request. Otherwise, you can go to pull request menu and create a pull request by clicking on new pull request button. Once you create a pull request, you can give it a title and write a description. It's better that you mention what you have done. And also, if there is a technical debt, you better explain it in here so that the reviewer knows that you are aware of the technical debt. And then you click on create pull request. Once the pull request is done, you will send this link to the reviewer, or you add it to your Jira or Trello ticket and you will say that this is my pull request, so that in the next step, that is code review, the reviewer can directly go to this pull request and review it. If you want every pull request to be reviewed by specific people, for example, senior developers or tech leads, you can add this rule and specify their usernames, their GitHub usernames, and that means that nobody can merge this pull request unless those people have approved the pull request. So you can have more than one code reviewer. At the end, you can either merge the pull request by clicking on merge, or if you don't like the changes, you can close the pull request. You can leave a comment and close the pull request. To see the changes, you can click on files changed and it shows you the diff. It shows you what it was at the left side and what it has become on the right. This code compiles and works, but it has many problems. And as I said, a seasoned developer can only identify these problems. And that is why we encourage the use of tools, not just doing it manually. For example, just by having a quick look at this example, we can see that the name of this variable is not good. It doesn't really mean anything. Variables must have meaningful names. Console read line reads a string from the console or command prompt. There is no input validation, so that's a security problem. This add number is being run in a parallel, so there are two threads running the same code. If we go to add number, you will see that it says numbers add a number. This numbers is basically a static list. So languages such as C# and Java have this concept of static members. Static members don't belong to the instance of the class, they belong to the class, which means that they can be accessed from within different threads. List is not thread safe. So two threads trying to add to this list will basically go into racing conditions and your CPU usage will just go up to 100% suddenly. So as you can see, there are quite a few problems. There is also no try-catch to manage the exceptions. So because of that, I don't like this and I'm going to close this pull request. I will write here that the add numbers method is not thread safe. Also, we can say there is no exception handling. Variable names are not meaningful. You can keep adding all the complaints that you have, and you can make it nice like this as well. You can preview your message and then you can just say close with comment and we close this pull request, and that is basically rejected. In the next lecture, we will see that how we can use apps and integrations to do it a bit more automated and better.